Exodus chapter 25. And Yahu'ah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they take up a contribution for me. From everyone whose heart moves him, you shall take up my contribution. And this is the contribution which you take up from them, gold and silver and bronze, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram skin dyed red, and the fine leather and archaea wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, shoham stones and stones to be put in the shoulder garment and in the breastplate. And they shall make me a mikash, and I shall dwell in their midst. According to all that I show you, the pattern of the Mishkan and the pattern of all its furnishings, make it exactly so. And they shall make an ark of archaea wood, 2.5 amma long, an amma and a half wide, and an amma and a half high. And you shall overlay it with clean gold, inside and out. You shall overlay it, and you shall make on it moldings of gold all around. And you shall cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners, 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other side. And you shall make poles of archaea wood, and overlay them with gold. And you shall put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to lift it up. The poles are in the rings of the ark, they are not taken from it. And into the ark you shall put the witness which I give you. And you shall make a lid of atonement of clean gold, 2.5 amma long and an amma and a half wide. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold, making them of beaten work, and the 2 ends of the lid of atonement. And make the 1 cherub at one end, and the other cherub at the other end. Make the cherubim from the lid of atonement at its 2 ends. And the cherubim shall be spreading out their wings above, covering the lid of the atonement with their wings, and their faces toward each other, the faces of the cherubim toward the lid of atonement. And you shall put the lid of atonement on the top of the ark, and put it into the ark, the witness which I give you. And I shall meet with you there. And from above the lid of atonement, which are on the ark of the witness, of the 2 cherubim which are on the ark of the witness, I shall speak with you all which I command you concerning the children of Israel. Sorry, I lost my place. And you shall make a table of archaea wood, 2 amma long, and an amma wide, and an amma and a half high. And you shall overlay it with clean gold, and shall make a molding of gold all around. And it shall make for it a rim of a topaz, and all around, and it shall make a gold molding for the rim all around. And you shall make it for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that are at its 4 legs. The rings are close to the rim, and the holders for the poles to lift the table. And you shall make the poles of acacia wood, and shall overlay them with gold, and the table shall be lifted with them. And you shall make its dishes and its ladles and its jars and its bowls, and for pouring make them of clean gold. And you shall put the showbread on the table before me continually. And you shall make a lampstand of clean gold. The lampstand is made of beaten work, its base and its shaft, its cups, its ornamental knobs and blossoms are from it. And 6 branches shall come out of its sides, 3 branches on the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side. 3 cups made like almond flowers on one branch, with ornamental knob and blossom, and 3 cups made with almond flowers on the other side, with ornamental knob and blossoms. So for the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand. In the lampstand itself are 4 cups made like almond flowers, with ornamental knob and blossom, and a knob under the first 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand. Their knobs and their branches are of the same, all of it one beaten work of clean gold. And you shall make 7 lamps for it, and they shall mount its lamps, so they give light in front of it. And its snuffers and their trays are of clean gold. It is made of a kikar of clean gold, with all these utensils. So see, and do according to the pattern which was shown to you on the mountain. Chapter 26. And make the Mishkan with 10 curtains of fine woven linen, in blue and purple and scarlet. Make them with cherubim, the work of a skilled workman. The length of each curtain is 28 amma, and the width of each curtain 4 amma. And the curtains have in one measure. 5 curtains are joined to each other, and 5 curtains are joined to each other. And you should make loops of blue on the edge of the end of the curtain, and do the same on the second edge of the end of the second curtain. Make 50 loops in the one curtain, and make 50 loops on the edge of the seam of the second curtain, the loops being the opposite to each other. And you shall make 50 hooks of gold. You shall join the curtains together with the hooks, and the Mishkan shall be one. And you shall make curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the Mishkan. Make 11 curtains. The length of each curtain is 30 amma, and the width of each curtain 4 amma. One measure to the 11 curtains. And you shall join the 5 curtains by themselves, and the 6 curtains by themselves. And you shall double over the 6 curtains at the front of the tent. And you shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is the outermost, and the 50 loops on the edge of the second curtain. And you shall make 50 bronze hooks, and put the hooks into the loops, and join the tent together, and it shall be one. In the overlapping part of the rest of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains shall hang over the back of the Mishkan. And the Alma on one side, and an Alma on the other side, of what remains of the length of curtains of the tent. It is to hang over the sides of the Mishkan on this side and on the other side to cover. You shall make a covering of ram skins dyed red for the tent, and a covering of leather above that. And for the Mishkan you shall make the boards of acacia wood standing up. 10 alma is the length of a board, and an alma and a half the width of each board. 2 tenons in each board for binding one to the other. Do the same for all the boards of the Mishkan. And you shall make the boards of the Mishkan 20 boards for the south side, and 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons. And the second side of the Mishkan on the north side, 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And for the rear parts of the Mishkan, westward, make 6 boards, and 2 boards for the corners of the Mishkan in the rear. And they are double beneath, and similarly they are complete to the top, to the one ring, so it is for both of them, and they are for the 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver 16 sockets, 2 sockets under the one board, and 2 sockets under the other board. And you shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the Mishkan, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the Mishkan, and 5 bars for the boards on the side of the Mishkan for the rear parts westward, with the middle bar in the midst of the boards going through from end to end. And overlay the boards with gold, and make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the Mishkan according to its pattern, which you have been shown on the mountain. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine woven linen, in the work of skilled workmen, made with cherubim, and ye shall put it on the 4 columns of their acacia wood, overlaid with gold, their hooks of gold upon the 4 sockets of silver. And ye shall hang the veil from the hooks, and shall bring the ark of the witness there behind the veil, and the veil shall make a separation for you between the Kedash and the most Kedash place. And you shall put the lid of atonement upon the ark of the witness in the most Kedash place, And you shall put the table outside the veil, and the lampstand opposite the table on the side of the Mishkan toward the south, and put the table on the north side. And you shall make a covering for the door of the tent, a blue and purple and scarlet, and fine woven linen, made by a weaver. And you shall make for the covering 5 columns of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. Their hooks of gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them. Chapter 27. And you shall make an altar of acacia wood, 5 amma long and 5 amma wide. The altar is square, and its height 3 amma. And you shall make its horns on its 4 corners, for its horns are of the same, and you shall overlay it with bronze. And you shall make its pots to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire holders. Make all its utensils of bronze. And you shall make a grafting for it, a bronze network, and shall make on the network 4 bronze rings in its 4 corners. And shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, so that the network is halfway up the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and shall overlay them with bronze. And the poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar for lifting it. Make it hollow with boards, and it was shown to you on the mountain, so that they are to make it. And you shall make the courtyard of the Mishkan. For the south side, screens for the courtyard, made of fine woven linen, 100 amma long on one side. In its 20 columns, and their 20 sockets of bronze, the hooks of the columns, and their bands of silver. And so for the north side, its length, screens 100 long, and its 20 columns, and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the columns, and their bands of silver. In the width of the courtyard on the west side, screens of 50 amma, with their 10 columns and their 10 sockets. In the width of the courtyard on the east side, 50 amma. And the screens on the side of the gate, 15 amma, with their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And on the other side, screens of 15 with 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And for the gate of the courtyard, a covering 20 amma long, a blue and purple and scarlet, in fine woven linen, made by a weaver, 4 columns and 4 sockets. And the columns around the courtyard have bands of silver, their hooks silver, and their sockets bronze. The length of the courtyard is 100 amma, and the width 50 by 50, and the height 5 amma, woven of fine linen thread, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the Mishkan for all the service, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the courtyard are bronze. And you are to command the children of Yasharel to bring you clear oil of pressed olives for their light, and to cause the lamp to burn continually. In the tent of appointment outside the veil, which is before the witness, Aaron and his sons are to tend it from evening until morning before Yahu'ah, a law forever to their generations from the children of Yasharel.